Guys, welcome to today's YouTube video. Let's talk about the hip flexors, all right? A lot of people have issues with them. We sit at a desk all day, we're down, we're in that position, it's always contracted. All right, so let me teach you two things that you can do. You need to learn how to extend the hips, and you need to learn how to contract the hips separate from the rest of the body. Now, let's talk about first stretching. This is a very common stretch that people do. Is you're on one knee, you're here. The biggest common mistake is when people are here, they just go and lean forward. You don't want to lean forward. You want to keep yourself upright. Open up that rib. Make sure it's tucked underneath. You're very aligned here. See, I can already feel my hip flexor. And then what's really going to open up the hip flexor is to squeeze the glutes. When you squeeze the glutes, now you're going to open up that hip flexor. Make sure that foot is underneath you. You go here, it'll take it to another level versus your foot being straight back. So make sure you have it right underneath you. You're here, keep the ribs down, align the spine vertically, squeeze the glutes because that's going to open up the hip flexor. And then when you lean, you're to lean forward, but make sure your body is upright. As soon as I go here, I am shortening the hip flexor. When I'm bending at the hips, I want to keep myself as upright as possible. And what extends the hips is the glutes. So making sure we squeeze the glutes. That's going to get you that hip flexor stretch. And now let's talk about individualizing it. So you can have a pillow, a book, anything like that, yoga block. Now it's important to keep your upper body straight. And all we're going to do is isolate the hip flexor. So if you put your hands behind you, you're literally going to raise the leg up straight vertically, come over, and then down. Up vertically, over, and down. If you notice my foot stays in a 90-degree angle, all the tension is coming from the hips. So you're teaching how your hip flexor how to contract by itself properly while having the quad kind of relax just a little bit. You might feel this in the quad because the quad doesn't know how to adjust. And then as you get better and you can strengthen your hip flexor in the hip joint, you put weight on there, an ankle weight at the very end of it. So you're here, over the top. If you lean back, it's going to be too easy. We're going to make sure you're vertically upright as you're doing the motion. Those are two moves you can complete to work on the contraction of the hip flexor and do relaxation of the hip flexor. Some of you may have one issue versus the other. Try them out. See which one helps you the most. And if you really like what I'm talking about here, please subscribe in the button below and really enjoy everything I'm doing. If you have personal questions or anything you want to see done, please leave it in the comments or DM me personally. All right, until next time.